We believe health is the foundation that unlocks freedom. The freedom to live fully, to be an asset and not a burden, and to chase what truly matters. Through daily practices and proven frameworks, we are here to help you build deep health, find lasting peace, and live with your heart on fire. Welcome to the chase. All right, we are back. Hello, Ben.
We are back, baby.
We are back. We are back, and we are going to return to our AMCAP 20 format. That's when we answer listener questions. We do as many as we can inside of 20 minutes. And I just realized I don't have my clock. Hold on. I can't do this. I have to do this for real.
I'm realizing that I'm wearing headphones for people that aren't watching. And I just traveled. I just got back from traveling. And Harley, my 10-year-old, was making these bead bracelets.
Mm-hmm.
And
I got one.
The container exploded in the bag that this headphones were in. And there's a bead in here. I can hear it rattling around in my ear.
Oh, yeah, I can hear that too. When you do.
You can? You hear when I do that?
Yeah, when you shake.
Oh, it just got stuck in something.
Or maybe
there
maybe that's just your brain.
I'm going to see if I can get it out.
Okay.
Oh, I got it. It popped out.
All right, for real now. I'm going to start our clock. Ready?
Let's do it. Yep.
All right. And I don't know if I mentioned this already, but these questions have occasionally been edited for length or quality. Not quality. Length or clarity.
For quality. We just don't think you ask very good questions, so we changed them.
I changed them entirely. If you want to get a question into the queue, the best way is to get on our free newsletter. I send out a link every weekend to a form that you can submit these questions. All right. Clock is now running. Now that we got all that out of the way, this is from David. I have revisited the episode about getting into the best shape of your life. I love the layout and framework. And I have a question. Let's say I play a sport, take football. If I have a couple of football training days per week, plus maybe an extra one for the match on the weekend, how would you edit the week to make sure that you get the most out of it? I think this activity also energizes me socially since I interact with lots of people, and I would like to keep doing it. It's not in David's questions, but I'm assuming that embedded in there is, hey, I can't do my football training on and going to the gym at the same day. So that's sort of the trade-off I think that he's looking for.
Yeah. So it's a challenging question to answer without knowing a little bit more about David. I'm also assuming it's football as in soccer, considering we called it a match.
Well. Yep.
Yeah.
Well.
And not many people play American football as like
a couple times a week.
40-year-old dude just throwing on the shoulder pads and
just getting, yep.
Yeah. But it's a good question. And it comes down to a couple things. One is goals. One is where you find, as he mentioned, outside of the actual fitness pursuit, where you find kind of like auxiliary benefits from. So we shouldn't discount those. And I think that's one of the really cool things that it's one of the coolest, if not the coolest thing that CrossFit did is they turned fitness from a solo pursuit to a social thing.
Yeah.
You know, it's really weird when you go into a regular gym now and it's real. I mean, we've talked about this before, but it's really strange. You go in there, it's like, I think we had somebody on there. They called it like the subway thing where you look down.
Yes. I feel like you were saying somebody said that to you, but I don't know
it's like, I can't, that's where it's like, it's really, if you make eye contact with somebody, like where the CrossFit gym's the opposite. If you cross someone in the parking lot, which they're coming in, you're going out, and you don't talk to them, it's really weird.
Yeah.
Which is awesome. And that's what I just share that to say that social part of it, that connection part is really big. And if David's getting that through his football practices and games, I would not sub those out for more, arguably, I'll use the word like well-rounded effective for overall. If we were to like just take these in silos and go, we are trying to build machines, one of one work capacity, one of another. The first one, test subject A, is going to do like the way we laid it out. Test subject B is going to sub some of those out for 3 days a week of team training. I think subject B is going to have less potential work capacity at the end of the test time, but they might have higher levels of health.
Yeah.
Because it really, really matters, this social thing, particularly if the training that we laid it out, David's doing individually, right? So
So you mean solo, like he's doing it on his own?
Correct. Exactly right. Yeah, like he's doing it on his own. He's doing it in his garage, or he's doing it at a Globo gym, like even at a regular health club where you know the experience of like put your headphones on, look down, no eye contact. So it's not as easy of a question to answer as maybe David thinks it is. I would just encourage to kind of think holistically about what it is that you're trying to achieve and what you're getting out of both of these pursuits. I will say that I think in order to get what we laid out in the other one, we needed probably a minimum of 3 days a week of that. Just simply because we require at least 3 days a week of strength training.
Yeah.
So as long as we're getting in those 3 days a week of strength training, we can almost supplement all of the rest, kind of like interspersing conditioning stuff for the team stuff and mix and match that as needed. But that's what I would look for as a minimum is we want to train upwards of 6, potentially 7 days, depending on what those 7 days look like. We can move every day. That's not wrong.
Yep.
But at least 5 days of real training, at least 3 days of those have some sort of strength involved.
Component. Cool. Okay. Next question is from Vinny. Recently, you talked about the 3 evil E's. We did that with Heather. And the expectation one is the most difficult for me. In 3 months, I'm running my second marathon and I'm unconsciously/silently targeting a sub 3:10. How can I manage this expectation? How can I manage this expectation productively in a way that doesn't kill my satisfaction after the race, regardless of whether I make it or not?
Okay, this is a really good question. It's a challenging one. And it's nuanced. It's not as obvious as it first seems. And that is that expectations, we're not saying don't have any expectations, meaning don't have goals. That'd be crazy for someone that's like, as goal, like I set up my whole, like I have a 10-year vision. I have a 3-year picture. I have my goals for the year and the quarter. And I'm so like, my whole life is structured around what I want it to look like. The nuance part of it is, meaning that having a 3-hour and 10-minute goal is not wrong at all. The nuancy part of it is, are you tying your self-worth? Are you tying your happiness? Are you tying whether the marathon was a good experience or a bad experience based upon a result that is actually ultimately outside of your control? So this is where you get into like, okay, so there's goals. Goals are not wrong. But in order to achieve a goal, you need to follow a process. That's where we should be putting a little more of our effort into. Not wrong to have and I want to, like, fill in the blank. I want to have visible abs by the summer. I want to do a sub 3-hour and 10-minute marathon. I want to earn $100,000. I want to have a loving, meaningful relationship with my wife where my kids hug me when I come home. Like, it's okay to have those expectations. But what we really need to do is go like, what is the process we're going to follow to get there? And that's what we really want to pay more attention to than the goal. Even more important than the process is, what are the character traits necessary to get me to follow that process? And this is where we get to the good stuff. It takes to follow a process that is going to have an outcome of a sub 3:10 marathon. Depending on what your marathon time is right now, right? If your marathon time right now is 2:40, that's not what we're talking about. If your marathon PR is 3:30, and you want to knock 20 minutes off that sucker, okay, what we're going to have to do there is we're going to be running 6 days a week. We're going to do a long one. We're going to be doing a running club. We're going to run whether there's sleet or snow. If there's sleet or snow and it's unsafe, we're going to go and run our long 14-mile runs on a treadmill. We're going to do hard interval sessions. We're going to pay attention to our nutrition. We're going to make sure we're getting our recovery. That's the process. Sleep has got to be dialed. I got to make sure I'm packing my lunch every day. I got to make sure that I'm doing my work on time so that I have the free time to be able to do my training. Got to make sure my life is in order in terms of my relationships. That's a really dialed in process. Who are the type of people that are able to follow that process? Now we're getting to it, right? People that are disciplined, people that have grit, people that have fortitude, people that do the hard but right things, people that don't get rattled, people that aren't distracted, people that have crazy amounts of focus, people that can commit to goals. The reason we want the sub 3 hour marathon is because the 3 hour and 10 marathon represents who we're going to be as a person at the end of it. Mm-hmm. Well, whether we achieve that or not, if we become that person along the way, we've achieved the goal.
Yep.
It's person over process over goal. Not wrong to have the goal. The goal is that kind of thing that you kind of put at the end. I want to win the championship. I want an undefeated season. I want to become the CEO of this company. Cool. But if you achieve those or not, does not change who you are as a person. Mm-hmm. And that's what we're ultimately after.
And just to put a fine point on it. So you started that with like, we've got to be careful not to let the expectation, wherever we land on that, effectively our identity, right? We don't want the expectation to lead the identity. We want the identity to lead to the expectation. And I think the challenge in there is the nuance of recognizing that you're trying to become the kind of person who does a kind of thing, mm-hmm. not the kind of person who did a thing. That's the challenge. And I think it's easy to forget that those two things are different, because I might become the kind of person who can run a 3:10 marathon, but not the person who actually ran the 3:10 marathon. And so we have to be careful not to say we're aiming to be the identity of the kind of person who does the thing, but really what we're saying is if I don't do the thing, I've failed, and my identity is therefore failed.
Yeah, right. We don't want to, and that's where it becomes like the warrior mindset. It becomes like the growth mindset versus the fixed mindset, right? It's nothing is pass fail. And that's what we have to like, that's the danger of expectations. Mm-hmm. The saying is happiness is reality minus expectations. That's because people don't recognize that it's okay to have expectations and not have your reality match up with them. Like if I think that I'm going to win the CrossFit Games and I come in 5th, I'm shattered. That's not great, which is weird because if you don't even think you're going to make the CrossFit Games and you end up coming in 5th, mm-hmm. you're ecstatic. The reality is you came in 5th. Nothing changed. It was just a matter of the reality minus your expectations. This isn't a matter of lowering expectations. It's removing how you are identifying yourself, your self-worth, your happiness, and your fulfillment separate from the expectations. Mm-hmm. It's okay to have them, right? It's just like it's okay to be a monk and be a millionaire. Like those things aren't mutually exclusive. You can do those things. We talked about this recently where it's like it's okay to have ambition and gratitude. These things are not opposites, right? And it's okay to have expectations, not meet them, and still be happy.
Let's pause to say thanks to a few sponsors, and we'll be right back to the conversation. We're sponsored this time around by Peak, helping high performers optimize their gut health with fermented pu'er teas. Visit peaklife.com/excellence today for 20% off and a free starter kit with your purchase. That's PIQUE life.com/excellence. Your performance is only as good as your gut health allows. When digestive issues and energy crashes hold you back, Peak's Pu'er tea becomes your secret weapon. Morning green pu'er delivers focused, sustained energy without the afternoon slump. Black pu'er after meals supports digestion and keeps you feeling light throughout the day. The fermentation creates gut-nourishing probiotics and metabolism-boosting polyphenols. Sourced from ancient tea trees, it's triple screened for toxins and it dissolves instantly without steeping. Go to peaklife.com/excellence. Again, that's PIQUE life.com/excellence for 20% off Pu'er teas plus a free starter kit. And if you needed a little more reason to check it out, they're backed by over 15,000 5-star reviews. We're brought to you by Shopify, the all-in-one platform that's helped millions of entrepreneurs turn their dreams into thriving online businesses. Head to shopify.com/excellence to start your journey for just $1 per month. As entrepreneurs ourselves, Ben and I understand that starting a business isn't just about making money. It's about personal growth, creative expression, and pushing your boundaries. Every challenge you face in building your business is an opportunity to level up, to become more resilient, more innovative, more capable than you ever thought possible. With Shopify's intuitive tools, you can focus on this transformative journey while they handle the technical details. From customizable templates that make design a breeze to wonderful social media integration that helps you sell wherever your customers are scrolling. Their all-in-one dashboard simplifies everything from shipping to taxes, giving you the mental space to focus on what truly matters, growing your business and growing as a human being. The best part, that first sale notification isn't just about the sale. It's proof that you're capable of creating something valuable, something meaningful. Established in 2025 has a nice ring to it, doesn't it? Don't let another year slip by. Visit shopify.com/excellence today. Start your entrepreneurial journey for just $1 a month. Okay, now let's get back to the show. This is from Julia. My boyfriend and I used to train together 5 times a week before work. After getting long COVID, I can only do light strength training once or twice a week. I've adapted to my new limitations, but my boyfriend now trains alone and struggles to maintain consistency. He often skips workouts or does partial sessions. I used to be the one motivated of the two of us and the one who always wanted to do more, an extra session, never skip a session, and so on. This is not the case anymore. He's aware of the issue, but doesn't know how to address it. How can I help motivate him back into a regular routine?
Okay, I'll give just something really straightforward and direct. Do his routine. I'm not saying go and train next to him, but like you did before, go to the gym.
Do all the things around the training.
Exactly right. Drive to the gym with him. Go into the locker room, change into your workout clothes. When he comes out, you come out. He does a set. You help support. Mm-hmm. You're his personal trainer. If it's a matter of him losing motivation because he doesn't have his accountability buddy, go back to being his accountability buddy. But you're, instead of training partner now, you're essentially playing the role of coach or trainer. And you had the time to do it before, so you can have the time to do it now. Mm-hmm. The challenging part is you're not going to have the same endorphins and dopamine and positive reinforcement of being in the gym and seeing all the good things that we love about training, your body changing, more energy, all the rest. But if it means that much, and that is truly the roadblock, I would just go back to doing what you did before. And if it means like you walking from station to station, machine to machine, and doing the thing with him, okay. If it matters like, nope, he just needs someone to go to the gym with him, then you go and you sit in the sauna. You wait in the lounge and you read a book. You do whatever. Or it's no, like you're counting his reps and helping him critique his form, but change your role to help him get back onto his path.
Yeah. Even expanding it perhaps one step further. And I think this is in your answer, but it's also like you get up at the same time that you did before, even though you're not training, you're going to still get up at 5 a.m. so that he gets up at 5 a.m. Right. You're going to get dressed in the same way that you got dressed to go to the gym. Make the entire process similar or the same, because that's often what I think holds people back. Is not like I think if you can get him to the gym, chances are pretty good he'll at least get through the workout. Maybe not to the degree that he did with you, but it's like going to bed on time. It's paying attention to sleep. It's all of the other things that we do throughout the day. The people who have this habit, those are all the things that actually make the habit easier. And so can you help him do those things throughout the day, before training, after training, so that he's already in the mindset of, I'm the kind of person who goes to the gym and trains because I'm also the kind of person who goes to bed at 9 o'clock. I'm also the kind of person who eats this kind of way and not that kind of way. I'm also the kind of person who takes a walk every day. All of these other things make him believe that he is the kind of person who also gets to the gym every day and trains.
Yep, exactly. It's the thing. We talked about this in a recent one, but you're the average of the 5 people you spend the most time with, right?
Yep.
You're the person he spends the most time with. So if you're still going to the gym, the chances of him still going to the gym go up. Yep. If you're not, you can't you can't motivate other people.
Yep.
You can for very short periods of time. Very, very, very short periods of time. But you can be with somebody, stand next to somebody, and do something with them to help change their habits. That's different than motivation.
Yeah. All right, let's squeeze in one more. This is from Andre. What's your opinion on athletes who coach CrossFit classes without having a CrossFit Level 1 certification, even if they're skilled athletes? I've seen this quite often in different boxes. While these athletes put in effort, it's noticeable to those familiar with coaching fundamentals that key aspects, especially seeing and correcting, are missing. Is it even allowed to coach group classes without a Level 1 certification? So a couple questions in there.
Yeah, there's a couple questions there. Okay, So the last one first. No, it's not allowed.
Yeah.
In order to coach at a CrossFit affiliate, you have to be CrossFit Level 1 certified. Because you are CrossFit Level 1 certified doesn't mean that you have the ability to see and correct well. So that's kind of like just another layer to that. It's like, yes, it's necessary, but it's not sufficient. Like, it's not guaranteed that now you become that. Second part of that is, because you're a good athlete doesn't mean you're a good coach. You take some of the best athletes that ever lived and they're not going to make great coaches. And the opposite is very true. That some of the best coaches in the world were not great athletes. So there's kind of like a few pieces to that question. But my take on it is, yes, people should get certified, not because it's required, but because they're trying to become better coaches. And I think that CrossFit's created the best probably education system in the fitness space. I think we've talked about this quite a bit.
Yep.
The Level 1 in terms of compared to other Level 1s and from other, it's phenomenal. It's terrific. And if you get to the Level 4, it's like almost like, I don't even need to see you coach. And if I could just send someone to a Level 4 coach and really have a crazy high level of confidence that they're going to have a terrific experience, which I can't say for any other certification in the industry. ... We don't get certifications to get certifications. Nobody cares. Nobody cares if you have a Level 2 or a Level 3. We should be doing these things because we want to gain the knowledge along the way. So if you get your Level 3, but you still have trouble seeing and correcting, that doesn't help us. We're trying to improve human movement, build communities, create connections, make people healthier and happier. That's the role and job of a coach, and the certification doesn't get you there. So a lot of little pieces to that question, but the big one is, no, you can't coach classes without one, but because you have one doesn't mean you're a good coach.
Yeah. This was definitely an earlier CrossFit challenge of finding coaches and I know you did this, but who are my best athletes? Can you be my coaches as well? But I say that to ask, in your conversations with gym owners, is this still a challenge that a lot of gym owners are sort of stumbling through, which is, gosh, I've got these 3 coaches because they were really good athletes and they love being in the gym, but now I don't know what to do with them? Or do you feel like as a whole, the industry has evolved a little bit past that?
I don't think the challenge is I have these 3 coaches that were great athletes and now I don't know what to do with them. The challenge is every gym owner struggles with getting good coaches. It's understandable. It's a challenging way. It's a great, very, very fulfilling career, but it's also hard to make a career of it.
Yeah.
I think people get into the space thinking that they're going to make $250,000 and be able to do this thing that they absolutely, absolutely love, probably more than life itself. And that's really not the reality. Two Brain has put out the state of the industry report. They report on some 10,000 gyms. It's a really comprehensive report. And the average gym total revenue is underneath $150,000. That's income to the gym. So, I mean, if you have 4 or 5 coaches, do the math.
Yep.
It's the average gym coach at a gym is making, it's a part-time wage.
Yep.
I think the powerful way to navigate, to think about it is, would I rather be a physical education, like a gym teacher, or a CrossFit coach? Those are sort of the parallels that we should be thinking about. They both provide a ton of fulfillment and a ton of freedom. You're not going to be working 80 hours a week for either one of those. You're going to be teaching humans how to live better, and you'll have lots of free time to do other pursuits and passions.
Yep.
I think that's the way that most people that are getting into the space should be thinking about this, not, all right, I'm going to make 6 figures in 3 years from now, and I'll be able to, put my kids through college. I don't want to say that's not possible, because, I've had an amazing career and I can put my kids through college, but it's through opening multiple businesses, not by being a coach at a gym. Like you have to have an entrepreneurial approach to be able to get to that. And you can do that not with opening business. You can do that by being a personal trainer. Like if you charge $150 an hour and you coach 4 or 5 people a day, that is a very, that's almost $200K a year. 150, $250 a day times 5. That's a pretty good week. That's you're doing pretty well. So you have to figure out kind of like which approach you're going to take in this.
Yeah, take it. All right. Those are the questions we got. That's our 20 minutes. Thank you to everybody who sends us questions. One more reminder, chasingexcellence.email. Get on the free newsletter list. I'll send out a link every weekend that you can submit your own, and we thank you in advance for doing so. Thank you very much for tuning into the show. Make sure you're subscribed wherever you're listening or watching so you do not miss another episode. For more frameworks and daily practices, visit chasingexcellence.email. And don't forget to tap the link in the show notes for today's full listener guide, where we break down the key ideas and provide actionable steps to help you put them into practice. Until next time, keep building health, finding freedom, and living with your heart on fire.